Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here one more time. And I'm only here because of you. You know, I want to talk to you on a subject that I believe is very important. It has to do with the question that we have in relationship to religion or church, however you want to grab it, and the state, or the state. And some people talk about the separation between church and state and this and that and so on and so forth, and all of the reasons that they justify either way. But when it comes to me, I guess I understand what the meaning is, what the concept is, but I don't see the validity of it. If you're trying to do the right thing and you're doing the right thing wherever you are, right is right, whether you're in the state, whether you're in the church, whether you're talking up for God or whether you're talking up for man, you're in the right. So what is this thing about some difference? Is there something going on behind the scene? I mean, let's face it. Is there something going on? You know, this thing has gotten so far out of hand, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm kind of speaking generally, that I guess at least all my life, I've recognized that people are always asking and begging God for something. God this, God that. They get up on Sunday mornings, you know you do, and you give all kind of thanks to God. You think, hey, everybody, thank God for waking me up this morning, open my eyes, giving me my strength, and I'm out here today at the church looking good. Give you glory. Praise your holy name. And listen to your holy word. We know that. And so we still have these needs, even though we might be burning with fire with that Holy Ghost. And it seems that the only one, truthfully, I'm just talking truthfully now, when it starts talking about those gifts and those benefits coming to you because of your relationship with God, it really seems that the only ones that's getting that benefit is the hierarchy of the church. Well, not trying to down anybody, just want to face some facts. But this constantly begging God this and education. And I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that I was listening to a preacher preach the other day, and I woke up the other morning and I was hearing somebody else preaching. Ooh, and they were saying, God is all powerful. They were saying, God got everything. Just ask God and believe in God. Have faith and God will come to you. God is your rescue. And then I was reminded that I was just talking to a preacher a week ago, and I said, why is it that it seems that with all the churches around and all the people loving God, why is it that it seems like the world is going straight to hell? He said, well, because that's the power force behind the ways of the world. That's what's driving it down this path. And I said, well, my understanding it is the duty and the responsibility of those who are led by the Spirit of God, by the Spirit of love, to prevent that from happening. Then he says, well, oh no, they got all the laws and they got everything set up in their way that they can just do what they want to do and kind of handicap us. And then I said, well, what are we to do? We who say we love the Lord, what are we supposed to do? He said, well, we just have to wait till Jesus come. He'll get them. He'll straighten them out. And ladies and gentlemen, that says it all. I'm laughing because that really is funny. Now it's funny. Right now, I'm out here by myself. That's funny. But when we think about all the hell we gone through, it has to do with stuff like that. Nobody told them that though God is a spirit and you got spiritual happenings and got things that's going with the spirit, and the spirit moves, if you want to, and that's the invisible spirit. You can call it God. But that's not all. See, we have to understand that when we talk about Moses was a man just like you and I. He's a human, include the women. He was a human just like you and I. He carried forth a message, and he called people forth to achieve a particular end. A man went up against the systems of government. That was a man just like you and I. That was the power that God has given human beings. He didn't just start with Moses. Let me give you another example. Show you what that means with that spirit. You know how the story goes with Moses, right? Okay, well, check this out. Here we go. Moses leading. Moses doing what human beings do. The right thing. Come up against an obstacle that's too big for any man. And what happens? That's when the glory of God comes. When man has done all he can. When man has taken the greatest step, his only step left, and the door is shut, then that's when the power of God moved forward and opened up that sea. That was that spirit working in unison with the physical and the spirit. Wasn't separate. Each did what was supposed to do. Each came to the rescue, and nothing was hindered. The mission was carried forth. So if the systems of the world are separate, church and state, and they're on that same end, and everything works out fine, I guess that's all right. But with all the things I see going on, it can't be that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know he didn't start with Moses as an example. But when we talk about Joshua, when we talk about Jesus, when we talk about Samson, when we talk about Job, these were human beings, just like you and I. You say, God, give me this. No. God has given out resources. God has given us needs. God has given us human beings with gifts to engage in the process of manifesting from these resources all of these things that we're praying for, so that we, by the power of God's love being used through us, will cause a manifestation of all those things we are praying for. And we don't have to be worried about no Trump. No, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to understand, God, just like God talked to those, God didn't stop. God was talking to Ben Franklin. God was talking to Dr. Martin Luther King. I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When I said God was talking to Franklin, I paused there for a moment, because here I am, a black man, and the first thing came out of my mouth was a white man. And it's got me sick in the stomach. But it is what it is. God didn't stop there. God kept right on with Malcolm. God didn't stop there. Mega. God didn't stop there. God is using people. Bill Gates. Jobs. All of these guys. These are guys used that God is using to cause manifestations on earth. Our problem is the reason why they want to keep church and state separated, because they want to mess over you. The systems of the world want to mess over you. See, if you got righteousness on your side, you can see what a system is of trying to mess over you. And you're not going to go for it. So that's why they want to keep you separated. Nah, we want to get away with all that crookery. And we want those of you who can see it to have no voice, nothing whatsoever. They don't even talk about the truth when you start getting down to it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about this. When, what's the guy's name? Donald Trump, I think that's his name. Used to be president of the United States. Yeah, I think that's that guy. When he came on the scene lying, all kind of the worst stuff you can think of. And you know what? The cameras of every television station probably around the world was right there catching his every lie and passing it along through all of the people all over the world. This man who lies just like this and call it alternative truths. Now it's not a lie, it's just another truth, the way you're looking at things. You stick your hand in the fire, you junk it back and say it burn. You say, whoa, no, that hurt. No, you got to come up with something else. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, everything that he did was right there, and it brought him straight to the White House. Even there, he continued to do that stuff, and they spread all his lies, and they put him on trial with the Senate. The Senate wouldn't even try him. The House impeached him, and they just let him ride. And he's so evil till he even turned his back on those who were just saying, come on, help us through. He turned his back over and want to take total control over everything. And scared them because now they still don't want to turn him loose. You know what? But they gave him all the attention. There were people talking about peace, talking about what I just shared with you. You think they would put that on the TV? How come the news cameras are not out there saying, there's a proposal out here by the community, led by the people of the community, that suggests there's a way that we can put everybody in a career of their own choosing. People who qualify for their employment. I'm talking about not babies, not the sick, not the disabled, well, unless they got a gift that they want to share. But other than that, everybody participating. How come there's no one out there telling folks that, well, there's a lot of unemployment, but everybody can be employed? I know you don't understand how that can be done, but there's someone saying it can be done. Let us see how it can be done. Nobody's talking about that. There's a voice out there saying that everybody can have housing. Nobody have to sleep in tents. Nobody got to be going. We can have everybody housed in the country. I know you got a system that says that can't be done, but somebody's saying it can be done. How come the cameras are not saying, how can it be done? Tell us, because we want everybody housed. How come they're not saying that? Healthcare, education. We know a way that everybody can get it. How come the cameras are not there saying how? I mean, I know our system won't permit it, but how can that be done? Let us see how that can be done. There's nobody out there saying that. Now, I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, they are not putting the cameras out there. You are not, well, those two of you who might listen to this, why aren't you talking about it? Answer that. You see, I look at it like this. It's the same thing between the separation of church and state. The state want to pull the wool over your head. And the church won't let them. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about a different kind of church. I'm not talking about a church that's trying to be God in issuing out pains and causing people to lose their lives. I'm not talking about people who are trying to stop people from having abortion and don't give a stink about people getting killed in capital punishment or going to war, or people that's killed on the street. I'm not talking about that kind of a God and that kind of a way of life. I'm talking about a God of love that cares about every last one of us. That's what I'm talking about. Well, the choice, my friends, as I sit here today, I know what's going on. The Democrats, they're trying to do what they want to do. I hope they can stay afloat, because that's their role in this system. Donald Trump and his people, and they weren't the only one. Now, all of that was a stage, as I see it. But its purpose was to see how low were the people willing to go. And we see just how low they're willing to go. They started an insurrection. They were willing to go that low. And all of the people, most of those people who are in the Senate representatives are out there supporting tearing this system down. They're in the House of Representatives. They're in the United States Senate. They are supposed to be protecting the people of this country, but they're willing to tear it down. They're willing to tear it down. They stood before the people and said, we will do this, and then turned right around and did that in the people's face. And now they got a lady. I don't know her name. What's her name? Well, you know what I'm talking about. She's out there talking just like Trump was talking. And Man, I wished I had a name. I wrote it down on something, but I do not see it now. Oh, man. But anyway, she's out there talking just like Trump was talking. And you know what? The camera is right there. Yeah, I think she's in the House of Representatives. The camera's right there. Trump is gone, but what she's saying, she's talking about stuff they say is more spectacular than the stuff that Trump talked about. But Trump is gone, and now here's a new voice. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's that same old evil stuff they told you for the past 5 years. Now they finna throw that stuff on you for another 4. They're going to throw this stuff on you for another 4 years. And Biden, all they're going to try to do, the Democrats are going to try to do, is to stay afloat. They're not going to be able to give you all of the things that they promised that they would. But they will get away with some to make you feel satisfied, like your vote was not wasted. But they're going to feed you a bunch of crap for the next 4 years. And you know what? The only thing God is saying to you is this, is that you got the power to change it. Now, if all of you refuse to come together, then each of you, one by one, stand on your own. Be led by that Spirit of God. Stand on your own. When I say stand on your own, stand on your own doesn't mean fighting people with violence. Standing on your own means resisting all of the crap, all of the hell that they throw at you. Why? Because you represent something more special than that. You know they hate you. Why do they hate you? Because they don't know any better. They don't know any better. That's why they hate you. They will be murdering you doing anything because they do not know any better. They're like wild beasts. They've been taught like that. Now, they got to be tamed. You got to stroke them down. What do you do with what that dog out there that everybody's scared of? Pit bull. What do you do with a pit bull if he's mad and mean? You know, that pit bull gonna grab you, but you got to tame that pit bull. You got to go through some changes. You got to love that pit bull for that, bring that sucker down. And the next thing you love that sucker, next thing you know, that pit bull is the most gentle thing on the block. So what we got to do is we got to tame these haters. We got to tame these racists. First of all, we're going to let them know that all of that activity that they've been pulling is over. Because you ain't going to separate God. You ain't going to separate truth. You're not going to separate right so you can get over. There ain't no damn alternative truth. A lie is a lie. And the truth is the truth. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Good is good. Love and happiness is love, and happiness is love, and happiness is godliness. Pain and suffering is evil. Pain and suffering is evil. And no child of God is going to put up with it. So I'm really asking everybody to be a child of God. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't asked you to be a child of God. I'm going to end it there and say thank you so very much for giving me this much of your time. And until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.